brother! Okay guys, so I don't want to beat a dead Thestral here or anything, but there are just some scenes at the beginning of Crimes of Grindelwald that I just can't seem to get over. Like, I can get over the bad planning, the poor weather, and like just the stupid logistics associated with moving Grindelwald across the ocean, but the one thing I can't get on board with is this weird body swap. Like, what is even happening here? Like, is this magic we just haven't seen before? Is this like the powers of the Elder Wand? Does Abernathy, that one guy from the first movie, have like some unbelievable power where he can do this body swap thing? Is he a metamorph magi? We have a lot to dig through here, but the good news is I do believe that we figured it out. Today we explain the body swap scene. Guys, did you know that in addition to helping you answer all of those unsolved mysteries from your favorite books and movies, we also give life advice over at Super Carlin Gaming. Jay and I are currently playing Super Smash Brothers and just answering questions every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Check it out in the link in the description down below.
My advice for you, Fred. First of all, what you're gonna wanna do, you're gonna wanna buy an old Pac-Man machine. You just wheel that right into the lobby of your school.
You have friends.
Okay, but back to the body swap. This scene is frustrating for me for a few reasons. One, it's just confusing to follow even if it makes sense. And secondly, because it is just so ridiculously confusing, it's really not easy to fully appreciate the very first time that we get to see Grindelwald's powers at their peak. Like, because we don't even know if it's him. And third, for a split second here, I thought the explanation was going to be Polyjuice Potion, which no. Oh my God, they used it later anyway. No. But this opening scene is so confusing. Like, who is who and who is who when? To give you a refresher on how this scene works, it all starts with Abernathy looking in on a locked up Grindelwald. There's a lot of like eyes and then eyes and then eyes and then eyes shots. Then Abernathy tells Madame Pickery that the prisoner is ready for transfer.
Prisoner is secured and ready to travel.
Then she reveals just how persuasive he is and that they had to cut out his tongue.
He's very persuasive, so we removed his tongue.
Cool, good, sets up nicely for later when he gives that awesome speech and gives a little bit more credence and understanding to how Queenie could be so easily turned. Then we go to the top of the tower where they're getting ready to take off, and Abernathy gives Spielman Grindelwald's box, which he says was hidden away, and after Madame Pickery prompts him,
Abernathy.
he also offers up the blood pact. And then the carriage takes off and we see Abernathy standing on the edge of the building holding none other than the Elder Wand. He immediately apparates under the flying carriage, and then things just start getting weird. Him and Grindelwald swap bodies, so now he's in the carriage and Grindelwald is out with the Elder Wand. It's all happening really fast and looks really impressive, and it's Grindelwald and he has the Elder Wand, so you really don't think twice about it. Maybe this is just really cool advanced magic that we've never seen before, or maybe Abernathy is a metamorph magi like Tonks and can just change his physical appearance at will. The point is, it's not really clear how these two have switched places or what exactly has actually happened. Within the wizarding world, we are aware of a kind of magic that literally involves switching of places of two things, which is just literally referred to as switching spells. We don't learn a ton about them in the books other than, surprise, surprise, Neville can't do them.
Why is it always me?
And that one time that Hermione suggests that Harry use it to swap the Hungarian Horntail's teeth for wine gums. Whatever wine gums are. And that's about it. It's not a bit of trivia that probably even your most advanced Harry Potter fans would be able to just easily call to. So I can't imagine they were expecting you to be like, oh yes, it's that wine gum thing again, because nobody knows what wine gums are. And more importantly, it seems like those spells are probably reserved for swapping out like smaller things and not entire bodies. But as much of a deep cut as that may be, it would still give us an explanation, and it is Grindelwald and he does have the Elder Wand, so why not? Well, I will tell you why not. The thung! Freaking butts, Crimes of Grindelwald, you had an out, but no, you had to do the tongue thing. See, if you recall, Madame Pickery tells us that they had to remove his tongue. We're all on the same page, right? Remove his tongue. Page 3 says it right here. So we removed his tongue. But in case that's not enough for you, cut to clip.
So we removed his tongue.
In summary, they cut out his, Grindelwald's, tongue. Then we see Grindelwald and Abernathy do the whole body swap thing. Grindelwald is outside of the carriage, turning things into snakes and casting lightning and whatnot. All non-verbally, mind you, like, whoa, they cut out his tongue and look, they still can't slow him down. But then he gets back inside of the carriage and does what? Gives Abernathy a tongue. You have lost me, movie. Like, why did Abernathy need a new tongue? Are you telling me they can swap every part of their bodies except their tongues? Because that seems a little ridiculous and, quite frankly, for your own benefit, inconvenient. But so, this is where things get even more confusing. Like, does that mean that it was just Abernathy inside of the carriage the entire time? Which means that Grindelwald is actually Abernathy when he's standing on the edge of the MACUSA building. You know the scene where he's holding the Elder Wand. Like, why go after the carriage at all? You, Abernathy, are actually Grindelwald holding his/your wand, and they think that they have you/him in the carriage anyway. You are free, dude! Except for the blood pact. He needs the blood pact. We think. Can it be destroyed?
Can you destroy it? Maybe.
Okay, maybe he needs the blood pact, or at the very least should probably keep track of where it is. But with that said, let's rewind another 15 seconds to this moment.
And we found this?
Oh, so at one point you did have the blood pact and the wand, and they had you/not you in custody, and you just handed it over? What even gives, dude? Unless, was that not you yet? Have you not yet swapped the bodies? I mean, you must have, because if that's just Abernathy, he wouldn't be able to speak, because we know that Abernathy does not have a tongue. Because again, later we see Grindelwald give Abernathy his tongue back. So if this is just Abernathy, he shouldn't be able to say,
We found his wand hidden away.
right? Do you see the issue? Do you see him talking here? That means he had a tongue. And then do you see this happening later? That means he didn't have a tongue. What is the order of events? When did this switch take place? Well, I submit to you that from the very moment that we see either of these two characters in this movie at all, they have already switched places. At no point in this movie is Grindelwald in custody at all. Is that obvious? No. Do they explain it? No. Let me walk you through the only way I see any of this making any sense at all. Madame Pickery, again, says,
We've had to change his guard 3 times. He's very persuasive. So we removed his tongue.
right, okay, so it must have been the case that before the events of this movie even happened, Abernathy must have been one of those 3 guards, and Grindelwald successfully convinced him to switch places with him. There is actually a reasonable precedent for Abernathy's uncanny ability to be manipulated. Going back to the first film, when Queenie gets out of work using the worst fake cough that has ever been used ever.
I'm sick, Mr. Abernathy.
But upon switching places with Grindelwald, they removed Abernathy's tongue, who then probably promptly started second-guessing his new bestie's plan. Although if you're looking at it from Grindelwald's perspective, there's actually a little bit of genius in this plan. Grindelwald convinces Abernathy to switch places with him, and then as Abernathy, Grindelwald then suggests that they remove Abernathy Grindelwald's tongue so that he can't be a danger to anyone else. Oh, and also can't tell anybody what Grindelwald has just done to him. As for how they switched places, we already know from the first Fantastic Beasts movie that Grindelwald is fantastic at transfiguring himself, since he spent the better part of that movie as Percival Graves. During which time he would have worked alongside all of his captors as co-workers. He would know all of who they are, what Abernathy himself is like, and just what the general water cooler gossip in the office would be. But if he did pull that off, why doesn't he just go pick up his wand in Blood Pact and leave Abernathy transfigured as him? Is the whole opening scene just one big rescue attempt so Grindelwald can get back one follower? Not for nothing, but he doesn't seem to have a lot of issue finding followers in much bigger numbers than 1. I'd go so far as to say that there are threes, if not hundreds of people at that rally. But also, as far as the MACUSA is concerned, they've all of a sudden gotten super good at containing Grindelwald. He has all of his stuff and can escape easily without anybody even like thinking to know he was gone. His issue, I think, is going to be that he didn't actually have access to all of his stuff. That after they found out that Percival Graves was in fact Grindelwald the whole time, they searched his office, found the stuff, and locked it up tight. The only reason he's able to get it back at all is because of the actual transfer itself, and he probably would have just let Abernathy go off on his own if it weren't for Madame Pickery saying,
Abernathy.
So, here's the whole story. Grindelwald is revealed to be posing as Percival Graves and they lock him up, but he quickly persuades Abernathy to join his cause and switch places with him. At this point, Abernathy's tongue is cut out and Grindelwald must bide his time until he can gain access to the Elder Wand and Blood Pact. The man we see imprisoned at the start of Crimes of Grindelwald is Abernathy, and because the transfer is happening, they release Grindy's Wand and Blood Pact, but he has to hand over the latter. Which also means he has to then board the carriage, rescue the follower, untransfigure each of them, and restore Abernathy's tongue. And that is the body swap explained. Guys, for my question of the day, what do you think? Does this explanation make enough sense for you? Were there any other moments in the Crimes of Grindelwald that you'd think need further explaining? Be sure to leave all your thoughts in the towel section down below. Also, don't forget guys, today is the very last day to order your We Finish Each Other's Salamanders t-shirt over on SuperCarlinBrothers.store. But guys, as always, thanks for watching. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you'd like some more Harry Potter action from us, you can click right up here to figure out why Azkaban Prison uses Dementors, or right here to figure out how Jacob might be a squib. But Jay, that's all I've got for you today, man. I will see you on Tuesday.